Good morning. My name is Alia Superb, and I am here representing Organization United for Respect, or OUR. OUR is a growing network of working people employed on the front lines of America's largest low-wage retail corporations. We push for family-sustaining jobs for all Americans, which we do through peer workplace support, leadership development, building alliances with community partners, and by bringing the stories of retail workers into key public policy debates. Today, millions of people are working longer hours and aren't getting paid more for their hard work. Due to an outdated rule affecting overtime for salaried managers, workers earning as little as $24,000 a year could be compelled to work 50, 60, or even 70 hours a week with no overtime pay. And these hours are common in the retail industry. This policy gives license to our country's largest retailers to capitalize on free labor and to saddle their employees with unbearable workloads. The 2016 DOL rule on executive, administrative, and professional overtime exemptions addresses this problem by raising the salary threshold to $47,476, a level that is more closely aligned with the reality of today's workforce. And it would make sure that the level keeps pace with wage growth by automatically updating the salary threshold every 3 years. As many as 13.3 million workers stand to benefit from this rule, in particular workers in retail. This is why I urge the DOL to defend the 2016 regulation in court and implement it as soon as possible. Every day this new rule is delayed is another day that we as a nation are depriving millions of hardworking people of the pay they deserve, as well as the precious time that they deserve to have with their families. Consider workers, for example, like Julie from Western Michigan, who's a store manager at Family Dollar. As a salaried manager, she covers every call-in from hourly employees and works an average of 60 hours a week. After 33 years in retail and 6 years as a manager, the long hours are taking a toll on her and her family. When Julie's sister had a baby, she was unable to support her as a new mother. And when her sister's husband died of cancer, Julie couldn't find the time to join her family in the hospital because of her work schedule. She regrets that her family has not been able to count on her, and that she has had to sacrifice time with them for her demanding retail job. I also ask you to consider David, a salaried store manager at a popular retail chain in Iowa, who's the proud father of 3 children. He works an average of 75 hours a week, and his children bear the brunt of his absence. During the holiday season, from mid-October to January, David is expected to be in his store nonstop. This year, his family will celebrate both Christmas and Thanksgiving in mid-November because David hasn't had a holiday off in the past 10 years. When David's youngest son was born, he managed to take 3 days of paid vacation. But since he doesn't have paid family leave, he could only drop his son at home from the hospital before returning straight to work. For David, the solution is simple. With all of the time that he spends away from his family, he deserves to be paid for the work that he does, so that he can provide for his children. Lastly, I ask you to consider Debbie of Northeastern Ohio, a former assistant manager at Toys R Us. When she was offered a management position over 18 years ago, she jumped at the opportunity, and Debbie said, and I quote, "I wanted to be a manager and advance in my career. I didn't realize that in achieving this, I would lose so much. I sacrificed my home life and time with my family to be in the store. Holidays were a blur and I couldn't enjoy them with my family. On top of that, I was earning less than male managers with less experience. I deserve fair pay, I deserve overtime." Managers in retail go above and beyond every single day to keep their stores running. And they welcome this responsibility, but in the hopes of growing as professionals and creating a better life for their families. Instead, they get unfair pay and impossible choices. This is why workers are mobilizing across the country to make sure that employers pay overtime to all people earning less than $47,000. We are gaining momentum for policy change at the state level and moving large retailers to change their policies from within. It's time for action now at the federal level. We cannot wait to start the rulemaking process over again. And working people like Julie, David, and Debbie need this change now. I urge the DOL to defend the 2016 DOL EAP regulation, still pending in the courts, and implement it as soon as possible. Thank you.